9, 8, 7, ignition. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Blast off. Blast off.
That was a pretty productive day, not gonna lie. The fertilizing took a while. That one big field, the two bigger fields definitely took a while to fertilize with their new spreader. I like it. It's definitely not the 42 meter like the other ones. If we ever get completely well off, maybe we'll have two of them, one for the lime, which this one does 18 meters, so that'd be good for lime, but one for the lime, and then maybe a 42 meter for fertilizing if we need it. I'd like to kind of put fertilizer on as I go with the drill, but we can figure that out. The only other thing to debate on is get the sprayer that's got the spot spray stuff for herbicide, and that helps with fertilizer. I put the spreader in there. I think that was a decent spot for it. Got those two lettuce pallets moved. Should be little clips in there, but we wound up finding 3 apples on the day, so that was a good day. One of them was on the way to that big field. I thought there was a shortcut in there. I knew there was a way underneath the tracks from FS25, and we took that way as trying to get a shortcut. That was the other frustrating thing. With little money I had to go get some more fertilizer to get our lease done. I'm not doing any more contracts today, so that field took a ton of time. It's a huge field. That one took a fair amount of time, but I had to scoot back and forth. I had to leave that field to go get more fertilizer, and then I had to leave that field to go, or not, I'd leave that field and go get more fertilizer. So once I found, so actually up in the right-hand corner underneath those railroad tracks is where I found 2 of them. So after I got those 2, I went back and bought 3 bags of fertilizer to make sure I finished that field. So let's collect on these, and then we'll finish up for the day. Alright, 40. We're at 40 right now. That's good. Got 9 bales off of this. That's actually, I thought, quite good. 5,500 liters, so a fair amount of literage there. They're fermenting. They're actually 27-28%, so possibly sometime tomorrow they might be done. Let's take a look at that. Silage. I didn't look at it real close earlier, but that's when I looked at the prices and decided I wanted to do silage because the price difference. Yeah, that's not huge fluctuation, so we could be able to sell it throughout the year. So as soon as they get fermented, we'll take those guys to wherever the best price is. But again, I don't think I probably should be able to make some money on that, but I did lease a lot of things, so that's gonna take away from it quite a bit. Well, I hope you enjoyed the episode. Please like, subscribe, comment, and we'll head into May here soon. Don't have a whole lot of stuff to sell besides those silage, and then we got a small amount of soybeans in July, but we'll try and make some money with some contracts. We're getting close to this guy. He's not going to be harvested next month, but probably the month after. So we got 2 months to make 24,000. I think we can do it. All right, everybody. Have a great day. Bye.